YouTube is absolutely dominating Hollywood, and it's because you continue to tune in. Streaming has completely changed the business, but who could have ever seen that YouTube would become the absolute king when it comes to all things entertainment? And it's doing far more than just showing the major companies the door. It's empowering independent content creators all across America. Today, we'll show you the ratings and show you why it's grating on the legacy corporations as YouTube, X, and the mean green machine conquer. Folks, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have you here as ever because it is our endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and by golly, we do it with a passion and a joy that the Hollyweirds simply cannot understand. 4 videos a day, every day, coming to you without vacay because it is a passion we have. Folks, we ask that you click that like button and we'll break down why the industry is breaking, but YouTube is raking up every single viewer, leaving a legacy network and a legacy media environment that left the truth behind. Here we go, folks. YouTube dominates Hollywood and the New York networks. Here's what we have, starting off with Hugh Hewitt and what he's saying is happening behind the scenes as entire cable channels are literally collapsing post-election. And people are going to YouTube. People are going to YouTube and X and the Green Machine and numbers like you have never seen before. Here's his reaction right now.
I want you to know, though, the cluelessness with which legacy media is being swamped. I always go back to the horrific scenes from the tsunami in Sri Lanka and other countries from a decade and more ago. People are just sitting on the beach, and then they see the water go out, and they don't really know what's going on, and then the tsunami comes in, and it destroys everything in front of them. The water going out, in this analogy, are ratings.
We'll pause there because that is exactly right, and this is something that has been accelerating in a way that is just unprecedented. Take a look at this. It's over on Don't Count Us Out Yet .substack by Ariana Demotricus. It says the surge of YouTube is shaking up legacy media. This came out in July, and I just want to say that it has exploded. Like, we have seen a total paradigm shift in the way that people are consuming entertainment. YouTube, X, and the Green Machine is where the people are, with streaming also there. We'll show you that this is now showing up in the Nielsen ratings in just a moment. It says the competitor no one saw coming. Oh, we did. YouTube is surpassing streaming and cable television. Here's how traditional media outlets are leveraging YouTube and how they can compete. In other words, because of what they did, we've shown you what's happened to the box office with more than half of the audience no longer returning. You've heard about the cord cutting. You've heard about cable going down. You've heard about the networks being obsolete, the dying dinosaur legacy going extinct media. Where's it going? Entertainment's not dying. It's being disseminated all over America. Independent content creators are taking over, and it's via YouTube. It says YouTube is booming. If you've read my latest creator economy article, you already know what I'm talking about. This piece, however, isn't about the reasons behind YouTube's explosive growth. Instead, it's about how this surge is shaking up legacy media. I'm not referring to streaming services like Netflix or Hulu, nor am I talking about Hollywood movies. This is about traditional media outlets, news, and talk shows that air on cable television. I recently wrote a piece on the shift in media from a macroculture to microculture, highlighting the fall of legacy media and YouTube's role at the forefront of this change. What I didn't cover was YouTube TV and how traditional media outlets are leveraging YouTube. It goes on to talk about just how tremendously YouTube is winning, devastating the traditional television scene. Well, let's go to Nielsen because it's confirmed now. And today we're going to take a look at the traditional TV top 10 for October 21st through 27th. That's the most recent dates that we have for this one. And if we look at Prime Broadcast Network TV, what you'll find is it's basically football. That's the reason people are tuning in to Broadcast Network TV. Yes, you have Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and The Voice. And the rest is football or baseball with the World Series. If we take a look at cable news, or cable network TV, cable network TV. But you might as well call it cable news because It's 3 football shows, and then it's Fox News the entire rest of the way down. This is what is happening to everything that is not streaming. Streaming is taking over. But, folks, guess what? There's more to that. Because look at this. Our latest Nielsen gauge is really important. The latest we have right here. YouTube now leads, and it is not by a small amount. When we say YouTube, though, what are we talking about? We're talking about Force of Light Entertainment. We're talking about Tooneytown TV. We're talking about That Pod Place, That Park Place, the WDW Pro Channel, and more. We're talking about Nerdrotic. We're talking about Geeks and Gamers. We're talking about Yellow Flash. We're talking about Valiant Renegade. I can keep going. We're talking about everything that's on YouTube. PBD, Timcast, All In Podcast, The Young Turks, everything that's on YouTube, The Daily Wire. YouTube is now far and away in the lead. And that means that YouTube is going to be where the advertisers are. YouTube, X, and the Green Machine are going to be the recipients now of vast sums of money as vast sums of audience leave traditional entertainment and traditional news and go somewhere else to receive their stuff. I want you to see the disparity here. YouTube now leads Netflix by more than 3 percentage points, and they're by far and away ahead of everything else. Below YouTube and Netflix, Prime Video is getting less than 1/3 of YouTube's content. Then even farther down, you have Hulu, and then even farther down, you have Disney Plus. So as we watch some of these companies like Disney moderate their stances, understand that the stances have to be changed because they are losing a race they cannot lose. Disney cannot fall so far behind YouTube as to become irrelevant in the streaming space. Disney cannot get in a situation where they get better viewership on YouTube than they get on their own platform. And that is the, what would you say? That is the arms race taking place between the entertainment companies right now, is who is going to win streaming. And the answer to that appears to be Google, YouTube, Elon Musk. That's that, and Bezos, if you want to throw in Prime and the folks over at Netflix. But everybody else is way outside of the box there. I want to toss to the panel now. Hugh Hewitt, that we were reading and watching his stuff earlier. You know, he says it's like a tsunami. He says that the ratings are gone and that the legacy news doesn't even know. Like, it just happened. The election happened and it became so obvious that everyone realized all of a sudden legacy media is going extinct and you can't save it. And now the new media is here. Panel, what do you make of this transformation that we've seen and we will continue to see over the next year?
I don't think it's surprising. I think we've all witnessed it. We have all seen it. As Staccato points out, it's more than just like when people tune into YouTube, it is more than just watching entertainment. It is like this live chat. It's getting to talk with people that become friends, and it feels like family, and it feels like a space, like there's community on YouTube. So I just think it's kind of, especially as the world has gone more online and people are more isolated, I think it makes sense why people enjoy YouTube.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Go ahead, Vash.
Oh, sorry, Marvin. I think it makes a lot of sense because we've seen that with the election coverage. As we saw the ratings for that, I mean, the shift towards YouTube was immense, and other digital platforms included with that. And we saw the ratings for traditional media outlets go down quite precipitously. The ratings when it comes to live sports and entertainment, this is why I think that for the future of Disney, I think Bob Iger is putting a lot of stock on ESPN in particular, because I think he recognizes, understands that live sports is really the only way for linear television and broadcast networks and so forth to really have a space going forward, because the dominance that they once had, it's just no longer that way anymore unless you do have live sports or some kind of live event entertainment happening on your platforms right there. YouTube has dominated this space for a while now. I think we've seen it in our numbers. I think we've seen it with numbers for individual content creators and so forth. And I think this all kind of reflects that kind of mindset change towards independent media. Go ahead, Marv.
I was going to say that I think that you're going to eventually, I think it all boils down to trust, and people do not trust corporations anymore. They don't trust Hollywood. They trust YouTubers because YouTubers are just people like them, their peers. It's the it's like the Howard Stern effect, like, and I mean like old Howard Stern, like in like the 80s, where he was just a regular guy like everyone else. He had a wife, he had kids, he was talking to you about his day. That's exactly what people are seeking. But then, like, when Howard Stern becomes part of the corporate machine, now all of a sudden nobody wants Howard Stern anymore. And that's the thing. We are not a part of the corporate machine. We are a more authentic form of media. And I think what people are looking for right now, more than anything else in this inauthentic, plastic, artificial world, is authenticity. And I think Michelle hit it right on the head. It's the interactive element. It's the sense of community, the sense of being a part of something. I mean, we have stumbled upon a new form of entertainment, and I think that it's only going to go above and beyond from here. I foresee a day where, something like Sesame Street now that was looking for a new home, it's things like that are just going to go up on YouTube, and they're going to, make ad revenue from it. I definitely see something like that happening in the future.
I think streaming is where it is now, and the election accelerated it in a way that the mainstream was simply not prepared for. You look at MSNBC and CNN losing over half their audience just overnight, and they already were not doing all right. You look at the way in which people are fleeing other forms of entertainment, and they're going as they wake up from cognitive dissonance. They're flowing into these channels, such as this and such as others, and they're finding the truth tellers that are helping them wake up from what they've been listening to that clearly was wrong.
No, it's actually very interesting. Hugh Hewitt had a famous recent blow up on MSNBC where he just basically said on air, we have to be honest with people, and the anchor was not having it. He was pretending like he had no idea what he was talking about, and Hugh Hewitt ripped off his mic and then left his desk and then turned off his stream in the middle of a live news segment. I think that that authenticity is what is really missing in cases like this. So it's very important.
I think Hugh at the time also said, I don't know what you guys are doing. I know you might be bought and paid for it, but I'm not. And he just walked out, which was really fascinating, that interaction there. So yeah, I think Marvin's point and Jonas's point about trust, I think is a big deal.
Yep, and the paradigm shift has happened, and now that it's happened, the fascinating thing about it is that the gatekeepers who controlled the official national narrative, that's over. They cannot control what people say, what they think anymore. And Elon Musk, YouTube, they've shown them the door. It's going to be interesting to watch. We'll see how it plays out. I think the biggest competitor to YouTube now is going to be X. It's none of those others that you saw on that list. It's X, then it's the Green Machine, and then it's Netflix. And that's who's chasing the top spot going forward. And yet again, folks, we have come to the end. But what a video it has been, and we hope you agree. Folks, if you had a good time with us, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. We care about your thoughts. Folks, we also want to invite you to partake in thatparkplace.com. Of course, www. You get the idea. Thatparkplace.com. It is the website telling the truth, and it is a rising star across the web for pop culture news coverage and analysis. Go over there and bookmark it today. Folks, we're bookmarking you as a great guest that we appreciate. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, folks, you better believe it, keep having fun.